But all of us know that all that information is worthless if you don't execute.
That's right.
Who's with me on this? Say aye.
Aye.
Knowledge is not power. Knowledge is potential power.
Right.
Execution trumps knowledge every day of the week. But you gotta get the knowledge as the first step. But most people only get the first step and they beat themselves up because they're not following through. And I want to show you why you didn't follow through, and more importantly, show you today how to make sure that you will consistently. Because that's the secret sauce. It's one word, action. Massive action will cure everything. But most people's idea of massive action is try, doesn't work. Oh shit, I need to do something else. They never master anything. I want to show you how you can make that mastery happen. So to do this though, requires a couple things. First, if we learn the way we traditionally learn, this is going to be a waste of time. How many of you have been in a university environment or seminar environment, any kind of an educational environment, where you went someplace, you learned something you truly thought was incredibly valuable. No one was selling you. You thought to yourself, this is good stuff. This could change my life, change my business. And you were excited. And then you went home. And you were excited. And then you got phone calls and texts and Slacks and emails and Facebook and social media and your kids or your family or your job or your work, and you got distracted and you lost momentum and you didn't follow through. Who has learned something you thought was valuable in an environment and did not follow through? Raise your hand, say aye. Aye. Who's done this more than once? Say aye. Aye. Who still feels intelligent? Say aye. Oh, you have high self-esteem, clearly. I used to do the same thing, and so I want to solve it before we even begin. The reason that most of us have such difficulty following through is not because we're not smart, it's not because we don't care. Look, you came here to give a day of your life. You gave your money, but you get money back. You can't get the day back, which is why I'm here to deliver, and I hope you're here to deliver. But the point is, if we're going to get to the level that we really want to get to in our life, we got to break a pattern. And here's the pattern that's happening right now as I speak. You're all being pure, loving Canadians right now. You're being nice to me, you're listening, you're being very earnest. Some of you even laughed at stupid jokes, please continue that process. But you're being very kind, but you're sitting in a passive state. And this is what all of us were taught. Because how many of us in this room went to a 20th century school? Raise your hand. Yes, almost everybody. In a 20th century school, what's the first thing you learn when you're 5 years old? The bell rings and what are you supposed to do? Report to your position. And when you get there, what are you supposed to do? Sit down and start doing things? Sit down, talk to your neighbor? No, what are you taught? The bell rings, you go to your position, you sit down and you shut up. Don't talk to your neighbor. Now, if you're in business today and you don't talk to your neighbor, you're out of business. Who's with me on this? Say aye. Aye. On the other side, if you wait for someone to tell you what to do, you're out of business. It's it's a different world. And yet this is what you were taught. Why? Because it was preparing you for a 20th century job. You report to your position on an assembly line. You don't talk, that screws up efficiency, right? You don't initiate, you only do what we tell you. That world is over, yet we're still learning the same way. So right now, you're being very kind and wonderful. Some of you are smiling, enjoying yourself as we just get started, but the state you're in is passive. So when you're in a passive state, even if you're enjoying yourself, what you're learning gets linked to being passive. So when you think of it later on, you're like, that's really good. That's really valuable. I should do that. Damn, he has big teeth. That's amazing. Whatever you're thinking, even if you're having a good time thinking it, it's passive. So whatever you learn, it's really important. I really should do that. So later on, your nervous system will go, I should really do that. So what we're going to do different, if you're willing to, is we're going to burst the energy out of this room. What we're going to do is do different than we started. You're all kind, standing, and confused. But what we're going to do is work together to produce energy. Huge amounts of energy. Because where would you put massive energy on a 0 to 10 scale of importance to success in anything? How important is energy to having a passionate relationship, would you say? Can two people love each other completely and not have much passion just because they're so effing tired all the time? Yes or no? Who's been in that kind of situation before? You love somebody, but damn, you're tired. The kids, the work, all that stuff. How important is energy to growing a business or building an investment section to your life? On 0 to 10, where would you put the importance? You tell me.
10.
And by the way, what is charisma? Thank you. No, what is charisma, really? When you say somebody has charisma, what is it that they have that grabs us like that? What is it? It's an energy. Haven't you seen someone who's not even that attractive? Maybe they're a singer and they have a giant nose and shit. But when they sing, they're the most beautiful thing in the world because this energy is coming through their face and their eyes. Who knows what I'm talking about here? Say I. And yet, what would you say is the average level of energy of the average North American? If 10 is unstoppable intensity and 0 is dead, where would you put them? I think most people are in the 4 to 7 range. Achievers are 8 and above. Ultimate achievers don't let themselves drop below 9 unless they're doing it deliberately, just to relax or make something happen. So, in order for you to get this and act on this, and for all of you all the way in the back to have an experience that's powerful, we have to right now decide tonight, we're going to take our energy to a level where we're going to change everything. With high level of energy, you can rip anything open. With low energy, everything falls apart. Who's with me on this? Say I. So where does energy come from, by the way? Where does it come from? Food? Food? Who here has had a holiday where you had plenty of food? Let me see your hands here. Can you remember your last big holiday, plenty of food? What happened? You went and ate how much? You went and ate how much?
Too much.
All of it. And when you couldn't eat another ounce of food, and you said, I'll never eat again, what did someone say to you? Pumpkin pie? Okay. Who knows what I'm talking about here? Say I. So food is a source of energy, but let me ask you this as I walk down here. Please stay in the aisle if you would, guys.
He's coming up.
Who here has ever had plenty of food and been exhausted? Let me see your hands. Say I. At the end of that big meal,